Hyliion may be one of the most underrated stocks that are in the stock market right now. And this because Hyliion's got three assets, three advantages that can potentially play out and we're gonna look at in this video. Now let's first of all set the stage for Hyliion. So the natural gas vehicle market growth 30 at 6.9 year-on-year growth. That's what it means, to outstrip 28 billion by 2027. Now, why is this important? Well, because a growing industry is obviously very positive to all the players who are actually selling in the market. And at the moment, there is not much going on. To be honest, 6.9% growth year-on-year is not incredible, but I'm gonna just show you why Hyliion is in a great place to take advantage of this growth compared to the competition. That's very important. Let's have a look at it. And by the way, I forgot, remember the 28 billion. That is what the market is going to be in 2027. But what I'm showing you right now is Freightliner. So this is one of the competitors for natural gas. So at the moment, they have these trucks that have been running for years actually. They've been producing these trucks. They are well known, but Hyliion has got a completely different product and I'm gonna go through that later in the video. But now let's move on to the other player that is in the market right now, and it is Volvo. So Volvo has got, even they have the gas-powered trucks, and it's LNG, so it's liquefied natural gas. Now, liquefied is completely different from what Hyliion has got in store for us. And to be honest, if you look at it, it's something that has been going on for years and not really a surprise. Also, Volvo is not just about obviously natural gas. They are mostly known for being just a normal automaker. And so if they have revenues coming from their natural gas business, well, that won't really affect the stock price too much because they're mostly known for something else, for cars mostly. That's where most of the money comes from, and also normal diesel trucks, which is the bread and butter for this company and where the actual cash flow comes from. Now, Hyliion instead is a completely different story because they have trucks that are 100% run on natural gas, which obviously makes them 100% green, and also they have some system in place that makes them even incredibly efficient. Nothing to do with what they have at Volvo. And now let me show you another competitor, actually the last competitor in the natural gas market. This one could be a bit of a threat because they are quite advanced. Now, this is Cummins Westport. This is actually a joint venture between these two companies. Westport, for example, is a publicly traded company, and they just launched literally a few months ago a new truck running on natural gas. Now, they've been actually selling trucks running on natural gas for quite a while, but the good thing is that this company is again part of a much bigger group, and to be honest, they don't really add too much to the mix. There are this Westport group that I'm talking to you about is more or less specialized again more on diesel trucks. And so the first thing that you have to take away is that Hyliion is very much specialized, whereas these other guys, the competition, is very much instead just focusing on basically everything because they are just old OEM producers, and that's what the business used to be, just diesel trucks, and that's what they're still doing. And not only that, there is also another very important fact for Hyliion. The Hyliion secret move, and the second asset that we're gonna talk about, is the potential saving on fuel cost. They talk about 65% per truck when using natural gas. Now, later I'm gonna show you some data that might change the way things are looking right now, because this article is a little bit old and probably the 65% is based on data that was relevant last year. Now things have dramatically changed and we're gonna look at it later in the video. But please remember that if you are interested in getting to know the whole industry of one of your favorite stocks, for example Hyliion, in the last video I looked at ChargePoint, this is the channel. And guys, last but not least, they also expect that a natural gas truck actually will have a longer service compared to normal diesel trucks, 7 to 10 years compared to 5 years for a diesel, for a pure diesel truck. But I hear what you're saying. It's different. Diesel can be found everywhere. Natural gas is a bit of a niche thing. Probably it won't work, will it? And this is a bit that you absolutely have to look at. These are all the pumps, all the service stations offering compressed natural gas in the US. As you can see, the total number is 849. So a very good number actually. It's actually very good. And if you look at it, they're basically spread everywhere. There are literally few states that do not have any pumps. So just to name a few: Montana, North and South Dakota, and that's basically a Maine as well. Maine over here doesn't have any pumps, but everyone else has got at least 2 pumps. Idaho and Nevada have got literally 2 pumps, but everyone else has got an awful lot of service stations offering compressed natural gas. And so the second point that you have to take away is that the market is ready for this technology, and also there are the infrastructures. We're not looking at hydrogen here. That is a completely different story, Nicola, and that's something that we're gonna probably look in my next videos. If you want me to do that, drop me a comment if that's what you want to see. But natural gas is everywhere, and you can see that for yourself. Also, the stock price of Hyliion is going down, has gone down quite a lot compared to the all-time high, so that's something we're gonna have a look at later. But now let's look at another reason, another surprise that Hyliion is gonna pull on us very soon. Now this is very important. This is a presentation that basically tells us that finally, and if you are a Hyliion holder yourself, and I am, this is music to your ears. Expect to recognize revenue starting in the second half of 2021. So here we are, finally seeing some revenues coming through. And finally, this is very important, they will start with 300 unit reservation from Detmar Logistics. So we are finally gonna see some revenue, guys. And this is great, but the problem is that the company will not be profitable for probably the next few years. And so what is the cash position? Are we doing very badly, or do we really have to keep diluting the stock over and over? Well, let's have a look at it. Now, this is something that many people have missed. First of all, the available liquidity. So that is mostly things that if you look at the balance sheet, you would have picked up. But the cash and cash equivalents is about 300 million. On top of that, there are another 300 millions that are short-term and long-term investments. Now, long-term, I would think these are other stocks that the company has bought, and that is obviously because the company is not profitable and they're really trying as hard as possible to try to make some money, to try to get some interest on their capital. But overall, if they were to sell everything, the liquidity is about $600 million. Now, it's honesty time. We really need to be clear on what the future of Hyliion will be. First of all, the company will not be profitable for a while, and what that means in simple terms is that the company will keep raising cash either through debt, which is something that they are trying to avoid as much as possible looking at what they've been doing over the years, but the alternative is for them to keep diluting the stock, which obviously hurts us investors, and that's something that we'll probably have to put up. But don't you worry, because I will keep making videos on Hyliion and other whole industry so that you know everything. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.